I beat Super Mario Odyssey with reverse controls. Welcome to the Hard Way Games, where we play games the hard way. For no reason, of course. Super Mario Odyssey is the most recent 3D Mario game, with its amazing graphics and movement and incredible speedruns. I know this because I used to speedrun the game myself, and I've built up muscle memory for the first half of the game. So I had to come up with a challenge that couldn't use that muscle memory: reverse controls. Using the controller binding settings in the Switch settings menu, I switched A and B to Y and X respectively, the left and right bumpers and triggers, the D-pad to the opposite directions, the plus and minus buttons, and the left and right sticks. With these new controls, I would have to completely relearn how to play the game. Also, I had a controller cam the entire time, so you can see I didn't cheat because we don't do that stuff here. But with all of that said, let's get into the challenge. Cap Kingdom was pretty easy as usual. It was just getting used to the controls that was tough. The topper fight was a little tough. I could easily stomp him, but chasing down the hats troubled me. But once that was done, I had finished the first kingdom of the game, only a little bit behind how I usually would. Cascade was also just shaking off the rust. I got the first moon, then Dino Skip. I said, then Dino Skip. 3 attempts later, I got into the Madame Brood fight. Once the fight started, I took the boss down first try, unlike Dino Skip, and it seemed like I finally was shaking off the rust and getting used to the new controls. Afterwards, I collected an easy moon, fixed the Odyssey, and headed to Sand Kingdom. Once I made it to Sand Kingdom, I followed the old speedrun route that I knew. I got overlooking the desert town after a quick bonk, a rumble from the sandy floor, the bird moon after another bonk, top of a dune after a few tries, then collected a few more moons. The next important moon I got was the Jaxi Skip moon, which I got on my 3rd try, after which I got the Cactus moon and the Flock of Birds moon and left Sand Kingdom. In the first choice between 2 kingdoms, I chose Lake Kingdom first, because that's what I'm used to. Lake Kingdom was a simple matter of collecting a few moons, then the multi-moon from the Rango fight, who I easily took down using the speedrun strat. Afterwards, I headed to Wooded Kingdom. Now, Wooded Kingdom was a pretty long one, so I think a montage should suffice. After getting all of those 16 moons, I headed to Cloud Kingdom, which is just a boss fight against Bowser. All this showed was how defeating Bowser in the final kingdom would be simple. I did the easier version of the speedrun strat 3 times to send him back to his ship. After Bowser shot down my ship and we landed in Lost Kingdom, I got Klepto Skip and then started to collect moons. I got the Mountain Road moon, the Butterfly moon, both Propeller moons, the Tree moon, the Stair moon, the Block moon, the Cliff moon, the Cage moon, and after a few failed attempts, the Bridge moon. After that, I fixed the Odyssey and headed to Metro Kingdom. In Metro, the first thing I did was get a moon, and then proceed to fail to get back on top of a building multiple times, but eventually I got back. Once I got into City Hall, I tried the speedrun strat, but failed it multiple times, and instead ended up just going around. Next, I fought and easily beat Mecha Wiggler. On my 2nd try, that is, because it was really difficult to move the camera and to aim with the left stick while moving with the right stick at the same time. But once that was over with, I began to collect the 14 other moons I needed, including Jump Rope, RC Car, Bench, Girder, Slots, Both Scooter Dinosaur, All Musician, Destroy Mechawiggler, Captain Toad, and Music Note Moons. Then, I had to make my second kingdom choice, and I chose Seaside since I was less familiar with the moons I needed to get there and wanted to get it over with. But once I got there, I knew exactly what moons to get, because for some reason, I always remember things right after I need to remember them. First, I got the Floor Moon, then the Jetstream Moon, then the Music Note Moon, the Dory Moon, the Sphinx Moon second try after getting the name of the kingdom mixed up with Lake Kingdom, the Trench Moon, and all 4 Story Moons, even if I forgot one at first. But with Seaside down, that meant only 5 kingdoms left, including the next one, Snow Kingdom. Once I arrived in Snow Kingdom, I went straight to Shiveria, where I got the Cardboard Box Moon, the Storm Moon, the Treasure Chest Moon, the Snow Moon, all in the main room. I went into the first room of Shiveria, the Poison Spiny room of course, the room that all cities should have, where I got both moons. After that, I went to another room that all cities should have, the Rock Chomper Ice Water room, where I got the Moon Shard Moon and the Chest Moon. Finally, I went to the final room all cities should have, the Goomba Icicle Cave, where I got the Stack Moon and did a cool speedrun jump to get the Story Moon. After which, I left Snow Kingdom and left Shiveria in chaos. Speaking of chaos, I've always been confused why Lunch Kingdom is so chaotic. Like, why is there soup lava and cheese rocks and fork people and a pot volcano? Anyway, that doesn't matter because this kingdom is long and it's time to do another montage. Ruined Kingdom is another kingdom that is only a boss fight, but to continue the theme of chaos, this one is just a giant hyper-realistic dragon for some reason. Probably Nintendo just wanting to show off that they could do that. But the boss itself is actually really easy. It's just a matter of pulling the helmet swords out of the dragon's head using Cappy, which sounds really painful by the way, and then ground powdering. Bada bing, bada boom, after doing that 3 times, the dragon is done, and so is his kingdom. When arriving in Bowser's Kingdom, I was feeling pretty good about the run, and unlike the last time I did a challenge run in this game, I would link the video, but I did it offline, I actually remembered that I needed some moons in this kingdom. I got the Goomba Stacking Moon and the Notes Moon, as well as the Story Moons. After that, I fought Harriet and Topper, which were pretty easy surprisingly, and then made my way to the top of Bowser's Castle, where you would think there'd be a final showdown, but it's actually just an annoying boss fight against the Mecha Brood. But after that, I left Bowser's Kingdom and headed to the actual final showdown on the moon. In Moon Kingdom, where I also had a snazzy outfit, there's a final gauntlet, but you can actually just skip it by doing Moon Cave Skip, which only took me 8 minutes to do with reverse controls. I barged in and stopped the wedding and entered the final fight with Bowser that, as I hinted to earlier, was super easy, just a matter of doing the easy speedrun strat. After the fight, it becomes a Metroid game, as Mario captures Bowser and has to escape the planet before he gets destroyed from the inside out. And, of course, since I watch too much Mario Odyssey videos on YouTube, I do XD skip and then make it to the final room of the game, where the music kicks in as I destroy the pillars and finish the run at 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 12.58 seconds. This run was really fun. It was awesome to relearn how to play and sort of speedrun Odyssey in a new way. It actually didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would, but it was still a tough challenge. I think it would have taken way longer if I hadn't speedrun of this before, unlike another Mario game I did a challenge on, video coming soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to not miss another video and another challenge you can try yourself. And that's how I beat Super Mario Odyssey with reverse controls.